Let's be real for a second. Have you ever launched something that you knew that your people would love and it fell flat? You're sitting here staring at the checkout page like, wait, where are my people at? If you're guessing who your audience is instead of using data, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Guessing is expensive. It costs time, energy, and momentum that you can be using to build something that pays you while you sleep. Hello, Genius. Welcome back to another episode of the Own Your Genius podcast, the space where we encourage you to use your education and your experiences to create dope businesses. I'm your host, brand attorney LaKanya Murray, owner of Off the Market IP Solutions and founder of Mark Legal. If you aren't using data to get your offers in front of the right people, we're fixing that today. We're going to make market research simple, accurate, and actionable so your expertise can do the heavy lifting and your offers land with the right audience at the right moment. If you can stop guessing and start using data-driven research, you'll create offers that convert, reclaim your time, and let your IP do the heavy lifting. Welcome back to the Own Your Genius podcast, where we talk about building smart businesses, creating standout brands, and turning your intellectual property into income. I'm your host, attorney LaKanya Murray, founder of Off the Market IP Solutions. We're a boutique firm that helps professionals and experts use legal clarity and brand strategy to protect what they've built and grow what they've created. We got a good one for you today, so let's get started. First of all, let's talk about this idea that you already know your audience because you worked with them for years. I mean, that feels true, but the reality is familiarity isn't accuracy. Your memory is great for telling stories, but the data is really good for making decisions. So there are several ways that you can collect data, but the best way is a mixture of both quantitative and qualitative research to get a more complete picture of your audience. And this is referred to as mixed methods. It's a strategy that combines both of them. So quantitative data, that's things like survey results, click rates, and sign up numbers. They're going to give you measurable facts and trends. And then qualitative data, they're going to be things like interviews, open-ended survey responses, and behavior observations. They're going to help you understand the motivations, the feelings, and the stories behind those numbers. And when you blend those approaches, you're going to avoid blind spots and you'll find insights that you missed if you just relied on one method over the other. For instance, when I initially created digital products way back when, those were for people just starting out in business. But what I learned through listening to my audience, checking my website views, and also the purchases that people made is that my audience was more mature in business. And what they were looking for was a combination of do it yourself and done with you. And so what I did with this information, I was able to shift my messaging, update my offer, and then create Mark Legal and get the right people inside of it. So here's how you can use the mixed method research for your business. First, start with a short survey and then add 3 interviews, and then talk to your past clients and check behavioral data like your clicks and open rates on your websites and even social media. When you combine those numbers with the narratives, you'll know exactly who you're speaking to, and then you'll feel like you're reading their mind. Now, once you have this information, it's time to make people put their money where their mouth is. If you believe that you need the perfect offer before you sell it, listen up. Perfection is a myth and it's slowing you down. Validation doesn't happen in your head, it happens when people pay you. So, what you want to do is validate that data from the mixed method research by having your audience actually pull out their wallets. Validation with paid tests mean that you test your offers in the real market with actual buyers who are investing their money. And you're going to do that instead of endlessly tweaking your product or your service behind the scenes. You're going to put a simple version out there and you're going to see how people respond. This can be in the form of a mini workshop, a toolkit, or even a short course at a lower price. Think of between $49 and $97. Paid tests let you collect real data on what buyers want, what messages resonate, and which features drive purchases. You can use A/B testing, which is when you change one element like a headline to see which performs better, to further refine your positioning. One of my clients tested 2 headlines with a $97 mini offer. The one that she thought was going to do well, it didn't. And then the second one was more outcome focused headline and it crushed it. Why? Because buyers respond to results, not features. Here's how you can apply this to your business. First, create a small paid offer, something like a $49, $97 mini course, something that we talked about before. Then you want to run A/B testing on your positioning. Track your signups, your completions, and your upgrades. Let the behavior, not opinions, guide your next move. So once you validate with real buyers, you can stop guessing and start scaling with confidence. And finally, the third thing that I'm going to leave you with as it relates to market research is let's talk about your ideal client profile, your ICP. Your ICP is a detailed description of the type of customer who gets the most value from your offer and is most likely to buy. It's going to go beyond the basic demographics, and it's going to outline exactly who your ideal clients are. It's going to cover their challenges, their goals, their motivations, their budgets, their buying triggers, and even the type of language that they use. You want to think of your ICP as the blueprint for understanding and connecting with the people that you want to serve most. But here's the key. Your ICP isn't just something that you create once and forget it. Instead, you should refer to this thing every time you introduce a new offer, a new project, or think about creating a new marketing strategy. Treat your ICP as a living document, one that should guide every strategic decision that you make as it relates to your business. With each new initiative, ask, does this speak directly to my ICP? Does it address their current pain points and their buying triggers? And crucially, has your ICP changed over time? Are their needs, challenges, and decisions criteria the same as when you last? Regularly referencing and updating your ICP ensures that your message and offers stay aligned with what your audience truly values, making it much easier for you to convert leads into buyers. Use this framework every time. You want to know who they are, what problem they won't solve, how they decide, and why they buy. Make it a habit to review and refresh your ICP quarterly, or maybe even after every launch, so that your offers always feel tailor-made for your ideal customers and your results will show it. So we went over a lot, so let's go over it before we wrap this thing up, right? Here's your quick action plan. First thing you want to do is run a mixed methods sprint. You want to do surveys, interviews, review past purchases, and behavior. You want to use it to name the problem your expertise truly solves, define your audience, and capture language for your promise. And then you want to validate that information with small paid tests. You want to launch a mini offer between $49 and $97. You want to A/B test your headlines, track real buyer behavior, build and update your ICP, fill in identity problems, outcomes, triggers, and decision criteria. Review it quarterly so that your offers stay aligned and profitable. When you do this, you stop guessing, you build offers that convert, you reclaim your time, and you let your intellectual property carry the load. And that's exactly what we help you do inside of Mark Legal. Mark Legal isn't just about legal protection. It's where you gain the skill set to stop trading time for dollars. Inside, we're going to show you how to protect your ideas so that they're secure and ready to scale. And then we're going to show you how to position your expertise so you can turn what you know into revenue streams that don't require you to work overtime. Here's what that looks like. First of all, protect your intellectual property. We're going to give you the tools and the guidance to lock down your trademarks, your copyrights, and your contracts so your ideas stay yours and you can share boldly without fear of copycats. The second thing, we're going to help you position your expertise. We help you craft offers that align with your audience, create messaging that resonates, and build visibility strategies that attract your right buyers. You'll learn how to leverage your expertise in ways that multiply your income without multiplying your hours. Mark Legal is where experts go to protect, position, and profit from their ideas. It's the easiest way to turn your intellectual property into a business asset that works for you even when you're off the clock. You can learn more at marklegal.com. And if you found this episode helpful, do me a favor. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Leave a review because it helps more experts find this show. And then share this episode with a friend who's ready to reclaim their time and let their expertise work for them. Until next time, keep owning your genius and letting your ideas do the heavy lifting. Because why work overtime when your intellectual property can do it for you? Let's take this conversation over to ownyourgenius.co. I want you to share this episode with 3 people and have them join you there. But before you go, you know what to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and rate the podcast. Until next week, keep building your business, growing your brand, and owning your genius.